OpenAI just went Diablo sauce on us and dropped a new AI chip called Jalapeno, and the first real benchmarks are kind of insane. OpenAI's custom chip is already putting up some pretty ridiculous numbers against Nvidia class hardware. But that's not the only thing we need to talk about. The 5-hour Codex limit is officially back for Plus users. Cursor quietly killed one of the best parts of the Super Grok Heavy deal. And both OpenAI and Google are basically giving away their payday AI plans to college students. So I'm going to give you exactly what changed, what actually matters, and where I think some of this is heading. Let's start with Jalapeno, because OpenAI's first real numbers make this chip look a lot more serious than I expected. OpenAI's first real benchmarks for its custom Jalapeno AI chip are finally out. The chip itself was announced earlier, so that's not the new part. The results are, according to OpenAI, Jalapeno is delivering between roughly 1.5 and 1.9 times more AI work per watt, while also producing significantly lower latency than the systems it compared against. And we're not just talking about OpenAI models here. The company tested it with models including DeepSeek R1, Kimi K2.5, and GPT OSS 120B. A semi-analysis also went into OpenAI's lab and verified benchmark runs in person. Its early conclusion is that Jalapeno is extremely competitive with Nvidia Blackwell when you're talking specifically about AI inference and performance per watt. That's a big deal because electricity and compute are becoming some of the biggest constraints in AI, but I actually think the coolest part is how OpenAI built it. OpenAI says AI played a direct role in Jalapeno's development, helping the company go from initial design to tape out in around 9 months. Then on the software side, Codex is helping write and optimize the low-level kernels that tell the chip how to efficiently run different AI models. That is kind of nuts when you think about it. OpenAI trained these AI systems using enormous amounts of Nvidia hardware. Those AI systems are now helping OpenAI design its own hardware and write the software for it. So Nvidia's GPUs are basically helping train the systems that could eventually reduce OpenAI's dependence on Nvidia. Now, I'm not saying Nvidia is dead because that's ridiculous. Jalapeno is an inference ASIC. It's specialized hardware for running AI models efficiently. It does not suddenly replace all of the GPUs OpenAI needs for training. Semi-analysis also hasn't completed every test it would normally want to run yet, but for a first-generation chip, these numbers look seriously good. Jalapeno is an application-specific inference chip, not a general-purpose GPU. That's why performance per watt is the more relevant comparison here. Next, the 5-hour Codex limit is officially back for ChatGPT Plus. This story is way simpler than people are making it. Plus users now have the 5-hour usage window again across Codex and ChatGPT Web. The weekly limit is still separate. OpenAI did not say it lowered the weekly allowance. Basically, the weekly limit controls your broader amount of usage. The 5-hour limit controls how quickly you can burn through it. OpenAI gave 2 reasons for bringing it back. The first is compute. The company says the 5-hour window lets it smooth out demand while keeping the weekly allowance more generous. The second reason is honestly kind of funny. Apparently, some Plus users were burning through basically their entire week's usage in one massive coding session, then they'd come back confused about why they couldn't use Codex anymore. So OpenAI's argument is that this stops people from destroying their entire weekly allowance in one sitting. I understand that, but if you're a heavy Codex user, it's still obviously a restriction. If I have weekly usage available, I can understand wanting to decide for myself whether I spread it across 7 days or absolutely destroy it on Saturday, building some random app I'll never finish. Here's where it gets more interesting though. OpenAI says the $100 and $200 Pro plans are staying off this 5-hour restriction for the upcoming months. That does not mean Pro is unlimited. It means this specific 5-hour throttle isn't being applied to those Pro plans right now, and that definitely makes the difference between Plus and Pro more meaningful for people who use Codex all day. Cursor also quietly changed the SuperGrok Heavy deal. If you remember, one of the craziest parts of SuperGrok Heavy was that you could get access to Cursor Ultra through the promotion. That's over for new users. Cursor staff confirmed that the promotion, including Cursor Ultra with SuperGrok Heavy, has ended. If you already claimed Ultra, Cursor says you continue to have access. But if you connect to SuperGrok Heavy now, you get the Grok Bot usage grant. You do not get a Cursor Ultra subscription. Honestly, I don't have a problem with the promotion ending. Promotions end, that's normal. What I don't like is how unclear the communication around it seems to have been. You have people on Reddit trying to figure out when this actually changed, and Cursor's own forum became one of the places where staff finally clarified that the promotion was over. There doesn't appear to have been some big clean announcement saying, starting on this exact date, new SuperGrok Heavy subscriptions no longer include Cursor Ultra. When you're talking about a benefit as expensive as Cursor Ultra attached to another very expensive subscription, I think you should make that extremely obvious. Just put a date on it. Tell people what they're buying. This shouldn't require somebody digging through Reddit posts, old documentation, and Cursor forum replies to understand what their subscription includes. But the actual news is simple. If you already claimed Cursor Ultra through SuperGrok Heavy, Cursor says you keep access. If you're a new user, Ultra is no longer part of that deal. Now, for something that's actually good news. If you're an eligible college student in the United States, OpenAI is giving you 4 months of ChatGPT Plus for free. The offer is available to eligible full-time and part-time students at U.S. degree-granting institutions. You verify your student status through Sheer ID, and the deadline to claim it is October 31. Here's another important detail. If you're already paying for ChatGPT Plus directly through ChatGPT, OpenAI says eligible students can still apply the promotion. If you're paying through Apple or Google Play, that's where things get more complicated, because those store-build subscriptions can't have the promotion applied in the same way. If you're starting a new subscription, you also need a valid payment method. You won't be charged during the 4 free months, but when the promotion ends, it goes back to the regular $20 per month unless you cancel. So if you're an eligible college student, I'd at least claim this. You're basically leaving $80 on the table otherwise. Google apparently looked at 4 free months and said, "That's cute. Eligible college students in the United States can get 1 full year of Google AI Pro for free. Normally, that's $19.99 per month. Google AI Pro includes higher Gemini usage limits, Gemini integrations across Google Apps, additional AI tools, and 5 terabytes of storage. The deadline to redeem the US offer is December 31, 2026. There's a payment method catch here too. Google requires a valid payment method, and after the free year ends, Google AI Pro automatically renews at the normal monthly price unless you cancel it. So put a reminder in your phone. Free for a year is awesome. Getting surprised by a $20 charge a year from now because you forgot about it is less awesome. So that's basically everything worth knowing right now. OpenAI's first custom inference chip is already putting up some surprisingly strong numbers against Nvidia class hardware. The 5-hour Codex limit is back for Plus. While the higher Pro plans stay off that specific limit for now, Cursor ended the Super Grok Heavy promotion that gave new users Cursor Ultra, although people who already claimed it are supposed to keep their access. OpenAI is giving eligible US college students 4 months of ChatGPT Plus, and Google is giving eligible US college students an entire year of Google AI Pro. But that's everything you actually need to know today. Subscribe if you want to stay on top of the AI models, coding tools, pricing changes, and free offers that are actually worth paying attention to. Have a great rest of your day. Keep building, and I'll see you in the next one.